Hello guys, and welcome back to a new episode in my beginner campaign series with the Necromancer. Last time we ascended, got our second ascendancy right here, and we finished up Act 7. So now, the first thing you want to do in Act 8 is move to the left over here. And there will be the first area, the toxic conduits. I had a little issue with OBS, so I might have to reload the area. Okay, it did already reset, that's very nice. And here you just want to move through. You'll have to clear out this area, and there is two ways you can go from the beginning. One of them is a dead end, and the other one leads to the exit. So let's just hope we got lucky here. And then after this area we will have to go through one more area, and then we can fight Doedre. She's the last one of the Medicai's Guardians we haven't fought yet. If you remember, in Act 6 we have fought Chevron, then Act 7 was Maligaro, and now we fight Doedre again. Okay, and there's the exit, very nice. Doedre Cesspool. And here I do have to reset the area, so just control click on it, and then enter a new instance. Okay, I clicked the wrong one. There we go. And now here you just want to move straight in this direction. Maybe this guy has some nice items. Okay, these gloves are actually pretty decent, so I'm going to try to fight him for this. These mercenaries can be very strong, so he might just one-shot me. Let's see. Okay, doesn't seem like it. And I'm going to use these gloves. Now I am going to switch over the gems from my boots because they don't have to be linked, so that I can use my raise zombie falling and don't lose anything. Very nice. Now I might have to summon back my zombies. We can summon 6 zombies already, it seems like. And now just continue on this way. And then we should find Doedre's pot in a few seconds. There we go. Now for this boss fight, you have to press this valve to start it, and then you can also press the valve if you have a lot of the debuff. This area inflicts a debuff, and when it gets too high you can reset the debuff by pressing the valve. Our build kills the boss before this really matters, so don't worry about it. There we go. And also I believe you can find 5 links from now on, and a 5 link would increase your damage by a bit. If you found 5 link, you could add melee splash support to these gems, but it's not necessary. And here I actually forgot, we should go right. There's 2 ways now, and we can decide if we either want to go into the direction of Solaris or Lunaris first. We are going to go to, I think this is Solaris direction first. To the Quay right here. And now we also have this mercenary who's going to help us for a bit. And I also have to reset the area. Alright. For this area you want to stay at the bottom until you find a dock that leads to the Anchor of Eternity. And there is actually 2 exits in this area. One of them leads to the Grain Gate, which is going to be the next main story area. And then there's also, I think, the Resurrection side, where we have to fight the boss. And to fight the boss we need an Anchor of Eternity, which we see right there, the exclamation mark. So just go over there and collect it. And now once we found that, we are going to stay at the bottom as much as we can, and hopefully find the Resurrection side. Now I have already gotten the minions deal double damage right here, So now I think the next thing I'm going to go for is some more life. Make it a bit more comfortable. And then later on we can maybe move up top here. Maybe even an Eldritch Battery or something. Just some more minion damage. But that's something that we can do when we reach the maps. And there we go, we have found the resurrection site. Here you have to talk to Clarissa, and she's going to summon this Anchor of Eternity we found. And now there's going to be zombies spawning all over. We have to kill them for a bit until this guy awakes, and then after we have defeated him, I believe we get another passive skill point from Clarissa in town. Okay, finally he's going to fight us. And he dies very quickly. Not that strong of a boss. I found the minion shield, that's very nice. I might actually use this when I reach level 59. This shield's also good, it has a lot of life. This has some all resistances. Both of them are fine. And now, once we talk to Clarissa then next time in town, I think we get the passive skill point. After you are done with the resurrection site, you are going to try to go as far up as possible until you find the Grain Gate. There we go. And in this area there is a little skip we are going to do. So first we are looking for the boss of this area, the Gemling Legion. They are not too hard to find, but after that I will show you a little skip. And I walked into the wrong house, which is very nice. You can see what the correct house is based on if you can see a corpse in front of it. So here there is a corpse, so this is the correct house. We go through, and then we look for another house with a corpse in front. Okay, so now I actually found the shortcut already. There will be a big crane-like structure with a gate. And this is the hidden Underbelly. We are going to come back to there in a second, after we've killed the Gemling Legion. And there is no corpse in front of here, so this is the wrong way. Probably down here, if I had to guess. Yeah, so there's another corpse. Go through here. And then we should see the Gemling Legion. There we go. These are the bosses of the area. They're like very weak. There we go, they're already dead. And now we are going to go back to the hidden Underbelly. The area with the gate we found. They can be a bit hard to find, or this area can be a bit hard to find. However, it's always in one of these open areas. So there's the houses and open areas. You should just search the open areas until you find this gate. There will not be a symbol on the map, so you really have to look out. And this area, these monsters deal a lot of fire damage, so be careful. Your fire resistance should probably be kept by now anyways. Some more life. You can also check the mercenary. This is some nice movement speed. Could actually take that here. Let's see if this is a strong mercenary. Okay, this definitely does deal a lot of damage. But there she goes.
Now I get to join you. Wonderful.
Maybe if we get better circuits on this, we might be able to use it. I'm just going to keep them for now. And here you want to stay at the bottom. Then ideally you should find I think you go to the Solaris Temple first. So here, this is somewhere in the middle. I'm just going to throw down a portal because we are going to go back to this area. And I think this is probably correct. Let's go to the Solaris Concourse first.
Yes, yes, I'll follow. Just
And here
try not
we are
to
looking
talk to me.
for the temple, which should be up here. And once we found the first checkpoint in the temple, we are going to head back to town through the portal, and then we can skip to the Lunaris Concourse instantly. Or the Lunaris area. So there's the temple. Very nice. So as you can see, we have skipped from the Grain Gate straight to the temple. And here we are just looking for the waypoint. And we can also find the second level down here. Okay, maybe this is a dead end. Or it continues down here. Okay, this looks promising. Maybe we find the checkpoint soon. Okay, so we probably Imperial Fields. Where does this lead again? Okay, so this is
Now I get to
the wrong
join
way,
you.
sadly.
Wonderful.
So we have to go all the way back. Up here. There is 3 exits in this area, or entrances, depending on how you look at it. And I believe it's just kind of RNG which one you find. There might be some way to read the layout, but I don't know any. So we are just kind of like trying our luck. But there's the waypoint, that's very nice. Now we go back to town, into the portal. And from here we now go probably up this way. And now we should find the Lunaris Concourse. And basically what this did is we managed to go from... Oh, it's a lot of damage. Focus on the game before I go into the map. Okay, there's the exit. And this is the bathhouse where we want to go. So we managed to skip from the Grain Gate to the Solaris Temple and then to the bathhouse right here. And from the bathhouse we will have to do multiple things. First thing that I see right here is these levers. That's probably the Trial of Ascendency. However, I'm first going to try to find the waypoint, which is usually at the bottom left of this area, right around here. Because we will have to come back to this bathhouse quite a few times. This is somewhat of a hub area even for this act. Okay, so the waypoint is up there. I don't really know why it is. I'm just going to leave a portal here for the High Gardens, so I don't have to walk all the way back again. I think this is not relevant. And then we go back up to the checkpoint. Okay, we got it. And from here on, the first thing we can do actually, we can instantly go into the High Gardens. I'm going to go back to town, collect some quest rewards, and then go into the High Gardens.
Watch yourself.
And another 2-stone ring. Maybe it rolls good. Okay, 13 all elemental resistances, that's very nice. I'm definitely using that. And as you can see right now, our resistances had actually got a little bit worse. But that's only because we are not in a combat area right now. If you go into a combat area, we are capped resistance at 75 because of our Purity of Elements aura. Okay, grab some more life. And then we can go into the High Gardens. This is where we find a Yugul, who will give us another passive point. And in this area, this is a very famous enemy. You can find these porcupines right here. They shoot out spikes if you kill them. So don't be close to them, otherwise they can just shotgun you. As you can see right there. If I stand in the middle of them and they all die and shoot out their spikes, I will probably die. So just kill them from a distance. And now we can go up here for now maybe. Just grab some life. Another thing we can do is grab some block chance. Maybe that's a good idea. Especially once we find a shield that has actual increased block chance on it as a suffix. Actually, it might be a prefix, I'm not sure. However, on shields you can get an affix called increased block chance. Once we get one of that, that will also increase our defenses by a lot. And then we can pick up some block nodes. Okay, so this is Yugul. He will sometimes charge at you. However, the most dangerous thing in this area is actually not the boss, but these pools that shoot water bubbles at you. And every third of his HP he will disappear and spawn little clones of himself. But everything you really have to do here is dodge these bubbles, because they chill you and slow you. Very nice.
Yugul!
Go back to town. I'm going to check if this is any good. Not really. It might be better than the one I already have. So let's pick this one. Another quest reward. And we can probably grab the block chance here. Also gives us some resistances. And I'm thinking about, since we have so many elemental resistances, we could actually pick up the haste aura. So I'm going to go back to Act 6. Let's see if we have enough dexterity. I'm just going to check.
Good tidings to you.
Okay, so yeah, this should be good for now.
Time and tide.
For the rest of the campaign I will be swapping out Purity of Elements with Haste. However, if your elemental resistances are not kept out, always check this in a combat area, as I said before, otherwise your resistances won't be modified correctly. So in a combat area, your resistances should be kept at 75, except Chaos Resistance, that one's irrelevant for now. But I'm going to use Haste for the rest of the campaign. If you are not kept with resistances, use Purity of Elements. And now, as we go back into the bathhouse, I'm going to look to do the Trial of Ascendency up here.
On the night of 1,000 ribbons, our finest city burned.
I just have to activate all of the levers.
Fires lit by cruelty and neglect. It burned with shame for giving the title of emperor to a man who did not deserve it.
There we go. And this is the third to last trial we have to do. There's one more in, I believe this is Act 9 and then one in Act 10. And once we get our next Ascendancy, that will be a very big spike, because we will have minions have Unholy Might. This is very nice for our minions and will be a huge damage increase. So anyways, now we are going to go to the top right of this area. That's usually where the exit is. And try to find the temple.
I don't deal in introductions. Gisek, you've got a decision to make.
Nothing too nice. Could have taken the amulet, but I'll stay with the next one. So here's the Lunaris Concourse. And this is where we find the Lunaris Temple as well. So if you just go up here, you will find the temple. This is General Grievous again. And now he's named Lucius, I guess. You don't have to kill him this time around, however I like doing it anyway. And this shield also doesn't have any block chance. Maybe after we've found the checkpoint here, I will gamble in town for a better shield. So that we can really use some block chance. Because that will give us a lot more survivability as well. There should be the waypoint right around here. Let's check levels. And for once I'm actually within the 3 levels of the area. I'm level 56 and the area is 59. Very nice. So just head back to town really quick. Actually don't know if there's a gambler in this town.
Hello.
Okay, there's Faustus.
What have you got for me?
Very nice. And there's the shields. Let's see. Okay, this is block spell damage. I will take this. This is very nice. Chance to block spell damage is a very good stat. So I'm going to take that. And let's see if I can craft something on it. So they've added the crafting bench also into all of the cities. This will also be in your hideout once, or you can put this in your hideout. You can just click on this crafting bench. I'm going to see what I can craft on this. The moving while bleeding is nice, but 2 chaos is a bit expensive. So I'm going to check if I have... Okay, I need some fire resistance. I'm just going to put this in here and craft some fire resistance on it. You can choose. I want to not spend a whole lot, so I'm just using off of transmutation on this. And if you need any stats, you can also put some of your other items with open modifiers in there and just craft something on. Just some nice extra character power. Especially if you need resistances, that's usually the way to fix it. Okay, and I believe we have done all of the side quests. So now we can go to the Lunaris Temple, where we were before, and go into the level 2. And if you remember this from Act 3, then you know that this area is huge, and you will have to go down these stairs, check the edges until you find a staircase leading up, just outward of the main area here. There we go, first staircase. You will have to find 3 staircases to get to the upper level. Actually, this might lead up. Okay, very nice. Second staircase. And now just the third one. This is a dead end. And this is the third staircase. Up here you want to go in the direction of no wagon. There's a wagon right here. And here is no wagon near the entrance. So we're going to this direction. And there is the silver door. When you find the silver door, usually you can just move straight and find the exit. Okay, here it's not quite the case. Maybe it's over here. There we go, second silver door. And now in this circular area, there's always the glass door. then you can move up until you reach the portal. There we go. And this is the moon boss, or the Harbinger, I think. Harbinger of Lunaris. This is like the mini boss of the Goddess of the Moon. We will fight the Moon Goddess and the Sun Goddess at the same time later on. And be sure to pick up this Moon Orb after you've defeated the Harbinger.
Lunaris, your secrets will soon be mine.
And we go back to character selection into town. There we go. Now the next thing is going to Solaris Temple. We need the Sun Orb as well. And this area is quite annoying. What I found that sometimes this is a U formation where you can kind of like go around the entrance. I'm going to stick to the left. However, this area is quite inconsistent. So it's mostly RNG. Okay, but we did find the right way. And now this is the Sun Harbinger. I'm going to grab the crafting recipe while he dies. Pick up the Sun Orb, and now you can fight the end boss of the act. We now go back to the Lunaris Concourse, and here you want to go into the down direction, down all of the stairs. And then you should see the entrance to the bridge. On this bridge, just move straight. This is always the same layout. And if you follow the bridge long enough, you will see the arena. There we go. Now just push this button and the two goddesses will awake. Now their fight, the only one that really does a whole lot of damage is the Sun Goddess. And usually you can just stay behind her and then her big beam will miss. They kind of switch in and out once they reach certain health thresholds. But just be sure to stay behind them and they won't really be able to damage you. Very nice. If you wonder what just dropped here, this is a contract for Heist, another League mechanic. This is not a very special item. It kind of looks weird on the ground though. But this is the end boss of Act 8, and now we move on to Act 9. This area, the Blood Aqueduct, is also very nice for XP farming. If you want to farm some experience, get some levels, this area is great for that. And this is just a straight way to the Act 9. Just be careful of the spiders right here. They deal a lot of damage. That's the exit. And now we enter Highgate. So this was Act 8. We've completed all that Act 8 has to offer. If you've enjoyed this episode, please let me know. Like and subscribe the video, and then if you have any questions, please comment them. I will answer every comment. And until next time, goodbye.